Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 of Washed Up Warriors versus Odyssey Esports. Game 1 was a beautiful game 1, and I'm excited to see what they bring in game 2. Loading onto the Rift, we have Odyssey Esports on the blue side and Washed Up Warriors on the red side. Odyssey Esports stacking as 5, heading to the bot lane. Gonna probably try and look for a nice little invade.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Though Sprite was a little late coming in. He gets nicely rooted. A flash comes in, but exhaust comes out. Sprite was able to flash over the wall to safety. But taking a quick look at these team comps, I like how both teams drafted their team comp. Way better for both sides. I like how, hold on, a nice two-man pull coming out of Noxious. Flag falls. They're trying to get Pfizer. Pfizer's going to flash over the wall. Nothing else going to come of it. But that's going to be a really hard start for this J4, being at half health and having no potions. A nice little ward is going to go over the wall, so they know that this Ornn is helping out Pfizer. And they're going to pay attention to exactly where J4 is rotating to. They're going to see him going on the top side. But if J4 is going to path, he should path the long way down to Raptors. But going back to these team comps, both sides drafted extremely well. I like how Odyssey Esports actually incorporated some AP onto their side this time. This Mordekaiser can be a huge threat. We've seen it before in other matches. How strong Mordekaiser can be, and he can actually 1v9 some games if given the opportunity. A nice jump in coming from Guilt-Free Soul. A huge stun coming out of the board. And just trying to get some chip damage onto Odyssey Esports. But what I like about how Odyssey Esports has drafted, they have a nice front line coming out of the Sejuani and Mordekaiser. Even if Mordekaiser goes into the Death Realm, this Seraphine still has a nice front line, whether it's the Sejuani or the Yone, to follow up with a really nice encore. Pull coming in from Noxious. Flash comes out from Juggernaut, but he almost went down. Juggernaut should look for the back and just TP back, because now we have Sejuani pathing on the top side. It looks like Noxious is going to try and push this underneath the tower. Brittle proc coming. Noxious is going to be able to get out. Flash comes out of the Sejuani. The first blood is going to go over towards his Mordekaiser. Juggernaut, I really think he just should have just backed, not knowing where the jungle was, and then go from there. Nice slow coming through from Rose, but here comes the flag and drag. Knockout comes onto the Akali, exhaust comes out, plus the shot is going to do big damage. Sprite going to be able to secure that kill. Tristana gets rooted up, but nothing else more is going to come of this. Knowing that, Washed Up Esports, knowing that the Sejuani was topside, Pfizer's going to try and look to steal a camp. He's going to be able to secure the big Gromp. And we're going to keep, and he's just going to try and get out from there. Seeing that the first dragon doesn't come up for another 40 seconds, it looks like they're going to get a nice back timer and then work their way trying to get these lanes pushed. Orianna TP'd into the mid lane. So he's going to try and secure the mid lane pressure. Juggernaut just getting these brittle procs. What I've noticed a lot in some of these games, people underestimate the fact of how strong in early game Bramble Vest works. Bramble Vest on the side of Ornn will really help against the healing pressure from this Mordekaiser. I understand that he's AP, but he can really heal a lot in these team fights, and having that grievous wounds can really help this Ornn in these trade-offs. Also, that grievous wound will also stack for the healing pressure coming out of the Seraphine and the healing coming out of the Yone. And a lot of people in the top lane tend to build what they're going against and not what the team needs. So what I want to see is I really want to see a Bramble Vest come out of this Ornn as a first item. We see washed up warriors looking for something on this Yone, but isn't going to be able to find anything. Grubs come up in 10 seconds, and both junglers are on the top side. Smite comes through for the Sejuani, and he's able to steal the scuttle away from washed up warriors. Now, prioritizing grubs for washed up warriors is actually a really good thing, because Tristana with her E can actually do a lot of damage to these towers, and really huge shockwave coming over for the side of washed up warriors. Flag and drag lands, and they're going to be able to follow up all that damage and be able to take down Rose. Rose, not knowing where the jungle was, got called out in a nice face from an unfortunate face check in the mid lane. Tristana jumping in. Kali just trying to back up. Juggernaut is gonna get rooted. Goes unstoppable. Here comes the Ornhorn, but he gets death roamed, and it wasn't gonna be enough to take down either one of Odyssey Esports, giving a nice 2-0 lead with a 15 CS lead. Buster shot comes through for the Tristana, but he's gonna be able to jump to safety. But there's a nice 2-0 lead in the top lane for this Mordekaiser. We've seen before in other games where once the Mordekaiser starts rolling, it's kind of hard to stop him. Washed up warriors, Sprite's on the top side. I like how Sprite constantly roams to the top side when these grubs are up. He does very well on these timers, and it gives a favor towards washed up warriors. Fate Seal is gonna miss because the flash comes out from this Orianna. If that Fate Seal would have landed, that would have probably been one dead Orianna. But both teams doing the best they can. A nice flag and drag coming out of Pfizer. Stun comes out from Odyssey Esports, giving the excitement over to the Jinx. Sprite gonna be able to get that 1v1 kill onto the Sejuani, but a nice double kill coming out of Jinx and really putting this Jinx ahead. So it looks like this Tristana is trying to build into Executioners, and I'm not too sure about that. Yes, Executioners is very strong and Lethality is very strong, but on the side, or on a Tristana, I think it's always smarter to go either Kraken Slayer or IE first into a Navori. Tristana really relies on her burst damage and increased auto attack range as the game goes on. He doesn't really have any built-in auto attack speed outside of his Q, where when Jinx gets excited, Jinx can just kind of mow everybody down with attack speed, and the more they stack, the faster he hits. So I understand why he might be trying to go for that, but I don't think it's the smart choice. But we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Juggernaut went into Bombi Cinder first. Orianna trying to just nullify some of this damage coming out of the Yone. Right now, hold on. Here we have a nice E over the wall coming out of the Sejuani. He's going to be able to take down this Orianna. That was a nice play by Odyssey Esports. Flag and drag lands. Glacial Prison misses. Nothing else is going to be able to come out from the side of Odyssey Esports. Juggernaut's just doing what he can while on the tower. Still getting kind of poked out by this Mordekaiser, but that's to be expected. Here comes the TP out of the Orianna. It's going to turn into a 3v2. Cataclysm comes through for Odyssey, for Washed Up Warriors. A big shockwave lands, but it's only going to land on the one. Flag and drag comes through. This Sejuani is going to go down. That was beautiful play coming out of the side of Washed Up Warriors, and especially from Pfizer, because he was able to play the vision by flashing over the wall and being able to really kind of get out of harm's way. While we have the opportunity, let's try and run that back real quick. We see the TP coming out from the Orianna. They try and focus onto the bar, but the bar's able to get out. Then the Jinx rocket misses, but that Orianna ult doesn't hit too terribly much, and they're able to secure a nice kill on that. But back into live, a huge flash. We just missed it, but a nice huge flash coming out of the Mord was able to secure a kill onto Juggernaut. Odyssey Esports is getting a nice lead right now. 11 minutes into the game, already securing a nice 1.5k gold lead. But Washed Up Warriors is going to have to back off this tower, otherwise they are susceptible to going down. And goes to Sejuani. He's going to start face tanking the tower. Fate Sealed lands. Going to be a nice 1-for-1 kill trade right now. No, I'm sorry, a 2-for-0 kill trade over in the side of Odyssey Esports. They're able to win in multiple lanes at multiple times, and Odyssey Esports is really kind of snowballing this match at the moment. Mountain Drake spawns in 20 seconds, and the next round of grubs comes up in 20 seconds. So I'm curious to see which team is going to prioritize which. Is Washed Up Warriors going to try and prioritize getting grubs so that they can't get a 6-stack, or are they going to give it for the dragon? Mordekaiser. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Mordekaiser was able to get out, but just barely. Juggernaut, I don't think, was looking at his map when he walked into the brush and had a little late reaction, because he could have stopped that back in time. Sejuani posturing for these grubs, and Washed Up Warriors is going for the second drag. So it looks like Washed Up Warriors is going to try and Drake stack, while the other side, while Odyssey Esports is going to try and get all 6 grubs and maybe even the Herald. Juggernaut getting called out. Glacial Persian lands. A nice pullback from the Mordekaiser. Q3 lands onto the Juggernaut, and Colt's going to be able to get that kill for a nice killing spree. Odyssey Esports going to secure all 6 grubs. This will be really big for them with this Mordekaiser and Jinx, especially with the Jinx. If Jinx can be excited after a team fight and they have a lane pressure between Jinx and Mordekaiser with 6 grubs, they can really annihilate a tower. People kind of underestimate that. This Orianna doing the best that he can to just get back to the tower with as much health back without having to burn his flash. So he did a good job on that aspect. Juggernaut just trying to get the kill. Flag and drag comes through on the bot side. Here comes a nice flash knockup. That root's going to land from the Sejuani, giving a kill over to Colt. Jinx was able to secure another kill in the bot lane, bringing him 4-1. And this Yone 4-0 with a huge, almost 5k gold lead in favor of Odyssey Esports. So right now with Odyssey Esports, I like the momentum that they have, and I like the rotations that they have. They're doing a very good job compared to game 1. But what I want to see them doing is I want to see them trying to secure a little bit more vision in the jungle of Washed Up Warriors, because they have the team fight potential and the item advantage over them. Being able to get some of these kills. A Night Temper Fate comes out from Juggernaut, trying to just get away with his life. I don't think he's going to be able to make it. That Rylai's is just a little too strong. Rylai's is exceptionally strong on Mordekaiser. But right now, it looks like the Ornn is trying to build Hollow's Breath, I would assume. Mordekaiser in a little bit of trouble with this J4. J4 getting the flag and drag. They're going to be able to get the shutdown onto this Mordekaiser. So it's a nice chunk of gold going in the favor of washed up warriors. But they do lose the top tower. Bard going in, trying to get something. Snapback comes through. Q3 lands. Exhaust comes out of the Bard. Glacial Prison lands onto this J4. He's going to have to flash out the safety, but a nice stun coming out. A 2-man knockup coming out from the Juggernaut. But here comes a massive Shockwave able to pull back in this Yone, and it's going to be a 2 for 0 in the favor of Washed Up Warriors. Jinx Rocket's going to miss everybody, but it was a good try on the side of Odyssey Esports. But Odyssey Esports was able to answer by getting the mid lane tower in that exchange for losing 2 in the top lane. Meanwhile, Tristana did actually go into this collector. I'm not a fan of this. I really think that either Kraken Slayer or IE should have been the first pick, and his second item should definitely 100% be Navori Quickblade. Flash comes over with a nice pull into a root coming out from the Mordekaiser. Flash from Sprite going over the wall. Ornn just going to have to try and leave with as much health as he possibly can, but he may not get out because this passive leading from the Mordekaiser and this slow coming from the Rylai's is just going to be too strong. It's going to be a nice kill coming out for this Jinx, taking him to 5-1. Now Jinx with the Executioner, I think is extremely strong, especially with his ult. His ult doing a lot of damage even at level 1 or even at rank 1. The ult coming out of the Jinx will be exceptional going later and later into the stages, and because he's going the lethality build, he's going to be going into the opportunity next. This Yone, exceptionally strong, especially with the Blade of the Ruin King, and Mordekaiser are already strong. And most of the time, most Mordekaisers either go Riftmaker or they go into Leandry. So I'm curious to see which one he builds, because he has the build path for both at the moment. But this Ornn kind of all over the place. I don't know what he's building, and he's building all MR when the rest of the team on Odyssey Esports is all AD. So because the Seraphine is just not going to do all that much magic damage because he went Echoes of Helia. So itemization on the side of Washed Up Warriors is not doing the best at the moment. Knockup coming out from Washed Up Warriors. A nice Ornn Horn able to land on the Jinx, but this Sejuani is going to get caught out. Encore comes through, lands on 2. Death Realms going for the Mordekaiser, and right now Mordekaiser is going to get caught out, but here comes the rest of Odyssey Esports. Rocket goes wide. Odyssey Esports trying to turn this around. Jinx gets excited. A nice Temper Fate coming through. Here comes the rest. Jinx gets the double kill. Odyssey Esports trying to land, but the Shockwave misses. Was unable to go all the way through. Sprite, I don't think he's going to be able to make this out alive. He jumps over the wall, so he will be able to survive. But that's going to be a 3 for 0 in for the side of Odyssey Esports. And a dragon for Odyssey Esports. While we have the opportunity, let's see and try to run this back. Let's see if we caught it. The Death Roam was already in place, and Guilty Free had to flash over the wall. It looked like they were going to be able to secure this kill onto the Mordekaiser, but the rest of the team of Washed Up Warriors just was unable to secure that kill. But you see that would have been a huge shockwave coming out from the side of that Orianna, but he went down just in time. A nice knockup coming onto Colt. We're back into live. TP coming out from the Mordekaiser. Colt had a Fate Seal out, so he's not going to have that key ultimate in this team fight. Flag and drag over. Pfizer is looking to see if he can't see anything, but he may get caught out here. He's not going to have the flag. That's going to be a lot of isolated damage coming out for the side of Odyssey Esports, and Pfizer just giving over a nice easy kill. Seraphine just trying to get something, but he's going to get caught out by this Tristana. Tristana's going to be able to solo Rose. Rose just being in the wrong place at the wrong time for that. I understand why Rose was there, because Baron's coming up, he was trying to secure pressure, but he didn't see all 5 members of Washed Up Warriors in the bot side, and he did have vision of the Tristana pushing out the mid wave. So going behind the Baron pit, I think, was a little grief, but it's not saying that he couldn't get some vision and just get out. So I do understand the reasoning of why he went, but just was playing a little too aggressive in that aspect for warding. But Washed Up Warriors right now doing the best they can to try and secure vision in their own jungle, while Odyssey Esports is trying to clear and set up their own wards for this Baron. Orianna just gonna press out these waves. He does have teleport, but Odyssey Esports has the Baron and behind the Baron pit lit up. So I'm curious to see how Washed Up Warriors is going to try to clear out this vision, because Bard can't do it by himself and they need to move as a 5. Being the fact that they're down almost 8k gold, they need to work together in clearing out vision and moving in as a team, moving in as one. This Baron getting started by Odyssey Esports. All 5 members are here with the collapse coming through with Washed Up Warriors. A nice 2-man ult coming out from the Yone is going to be able to secure that kill onto the bar. Odyssey Esports still focusing down. 6k left onto this Baron. Flag comes out with the Orianna ball. A nice flash comes over the wall from the Q3. Odyssey Esports trying to secure that Baron, but the Baron's going to go over and get stolen by this J4. Right now, the rest of Washed Up Warriors just need to leave and keep the Baron buff on these 2 members that they have. Otherwise, and that's going to be a 4-for-0 in favor of Odyssey Esports. Even though there's 1 Baron on the side of Washed Up Warriors, this is going to be a very hard defend. They're going to be staggered. Temper's Fate is going to come through. A nice little stun to keep Colt away. But the rest of Odyssey Esports, they're going to be able to just start cleaning these towers up and pushing in from all angles. This Ornn surprisingly went Kinetic Rook. This is what I mean by building for just your lane opponent when you need to also be building for the team. I don't think Kinetic Rook was a smart choice for the side for this Ornn. The IE comes in. The IE comes in for the Tristana, but I don't know if this this Tristana is going to be able to do much damage with that. Yes, the execute coming out of Executioners is strong, but you're relying too much on just one full-blown burst, where Navori, you can throw multiple cluster shots, constantly keep your Q up, and you can stay at range because you gain extra range distance, auto attack range, as you continue to level up. So itemization coming through for the side of Washed Up Warriors is a little confusing, but they're doing what they can. They're looking for a nice dive. Stun comes through. Ornhorn comes. Ornhorn's gonna land. Flash comes out of Guilty Free Soul with a nice barrier, but this Yone is just 1v5ing underneath the tower. Is he gonna be able to go down? He's doing the best that he can, trying to heal up with his board. Tempered Fate's gonna come through onto it. He gets a double kill underneath the tower, and he's almost able to get a triple kill onto this. That was a massive, massive fight coming out for the side of Yone. While we have the opportunity, let's see what happens on the bot side. A nice Encore comes in. Redemption comes through, trying to keep this Mordekaiser nice and healthy. The rest of the team of Odyssey Esports is going to be showing up. They're doing the best they can to try and end this game while they can with 2 members down on the side of Washed Up Warriors. They're posturing for these towers. They get a nice pull with a flag and drag coming from Pfizer, but Pfizer's going to be able to land a kill. Glacial Prison goes wide, but the rest of Odyssey Esports is just going to be clearing up Washed Up Warriors. A TP comes in and saves this. Akali's going to be able to get excited again. They're focusing down these towers. They're focusing 2 at the same time. Mordekaiser just slowing this Ornn left and right, but that a nice execution to come out from the Akali. And it looks like it's going to be game. A huge two-man shockwave comes out from the Orianna, but it's not going to be enough. And that's going to be a nice victory coming over, making this game a 1-1 in the series. But while we have the opportunity, let's go ahead and play this back real quick with this huge team fight in the bot lane. Look at this. You see they're trying to get the Colt, but Colt is just surviving left and right with a nice snapback, and the Bork coming through is just massive. And this is what I mean by having a nice early Bramble Vest would be able to nullify all of this. The Fate, Tempered Fate was able to keep this Tristana alive, but he was basically 1v4ing the whole entire time in the top lane. And this is what I mean by prioritizing prioritizing certain builds for certain team comps, and trying your best to think of the long game and not just your laning phase. But for both teams, they did a phenomenal job, and this series is a nice 1-1. Is nicely evened up 1-1, and I'm excited to see what happens in game 3.